My name is Keith Lorren.
I'm known all over the world as the King of Spice because I make the best tasting spices in the whole wide world.
Something very special for you today. I'm going to show you how to make
Keith Lorren's Caribbean-style oxtail with butter beans, dumplings, and sweet coconut rice. You're going to love it. Now, 7 years ago, I made my first video on YouTube, and people went crazy over it. It went viral. Hundreds of thousands of people watched it, and one of those people was Mr. Wayne. He actually saw the recipe and made his version of the recipe using the Keith Lorren Oxtail seasoning, and I had the pleasure of meeting him in Miami, and we had such a great time at the restaurant. I met his family, and he promised me he was going to find me a wife the next time he goes to Thailand. So, Mr. Wayne, I'm holding you to that, okay? So this is how we're going to do my new updated version. If you love the old one, you're going to go crazy over the new one. It's so fabulous. Make sure to go to Stop and Shop grocery stores at KeithLorren.com and get your oxtail seasoning, okay? Next, we're going to take our oxtail and we're going to rub it down with the juice of one lime, and we're going to scrub the outside of it with the lemon peels to give it that flavor. Next, we're going to get the Keith Lorren Oxtail seasoning. Look at all them herbs. It doesn't get better than that. They call me the King of Spices because I make the best spices, the most flavorful spices. And you can't add too much because they're not salty at all. They're just right. Next, we're going to add a little bit of black pepper, and we're going to bring up some salt content with a little bit of the Keith Lorren seasoned sea salt. Next, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of the Keith Lorren beef bouillon. Now, this is a magical spice. All of my bouillons are great. It really makes the gravy wonderful, and people are going to be like, oh my God, just pour the gravy all over me. It's so good. Next, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of the Jamaican pimento or allspice and get it mixed all in. And look at the color. The seasoning just pure magic. Look how beautiful it looks. Now, I found this dark soy sauce at the store, and I'm going to use about a half of a cup of it, or a fourth of a cup of it. It's up to you how much you want to put, but I'm using it for the color and for the flavor. Next, we're going to make our green seasoning paste. This is a Caribbean delicacy, a Caribbean classic, and these are the ingredients. And this is the texture that we want from it. We want it to be a paste. Now, the secret to this color now is we're going to make a dark caramel. 1 tablespoon of dark brown sugar, a little bit of oil, and we're not burning it. And as soon as it turns dark, we're adding a splash of water to it, and we're thinning it out so it doesn't burn. Next, I've taken the oxtail that I marinated overnight and put in a Ziploc bag into our pan, and I'm tossing it to get the caramel evenly coated. Look how beautiful that is. This oxtail is going to take about 3 hours to cook. But after the first 10 minutes, when it starts to make its own juice, I want you to add 4 cups of water, and I want you to add 1/4 cup of ketchup, and I want you to add the green seasoning paste that we made. Mix it all in, and I want you to cook it down for 2 hours. At the 2-hour mark, it's time to re-season, okay? We're going to use a splash of the Keith Lorren Oxtail seasoning, and we're going to add another one of these secrets now. It's all about the little things. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of the Keith Lorren chicken bouillon. People are going to eat this gravy and just pour it all over themselves. It's so good. And we're going to add 1 green Scotch bonnet pepper. Now, this Scotch bonnet pepper is not going to add any heat. It's just going to add an aroma, okay? Don't be afraid, just as long as you don't pierce it. Next, we're going to make our dumplings. Now, these dumplings are magical. They're super special. 1½ cup of flour, a little bit of the Keith Lorren seasoned salt, and then we're going to add a splash of the beef fat that we skimmed off the top of the oxtail, okay? Mix it up really good and add a little bit of water. Be careful not to add too much. And you're going to mix it up until it comes together. Once it comes together, we're going to do a process of ripping it apart and putting it back together, and then rolling it into thin, nice spinners or dumplings. It's going to be magical. You're going to eat these dumplings all day. It's so great. Next, we're going to add our dumplings to our pot, and you can see how the gravy has reduced. It's magical. We're going to swirl the pot. We don't want to stir it so we don't break up the dumplings. And after 10 minutes, we're going to add our carrots. This is 3 cut carrots. We're going to stir the pot, and look at that gravy. It's so magical. You're going to just be like, oh my God, where has this recipe been all my life? I know. I invented cooking. I know. You're going to love it. You can do this too. It's really simple. Just follow the steps. Next, we're going to add 2 cans of the Jamaican butter beans. Swirl the pot, cover it, and as it's cooking, a little bit at the 3-hour mark, once it's tender, we can add the rest of our vegetables. Now I'm adding a little splash of the beef fat to my skillet, along with 1 red bell pepper and some fresh scallions. We're going to add it back, and ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have the most succulent oxtail, the most tender oxtail, the most delicious dumplings ever. Look at that gravy. Lord have mercy. Just give it to me right now. I love it. Look how tender that is. Just falls right off the bone. I've made this recipe all over the world. People love it. You're going to love it too. You can do this. It's easy. Just get the Keith Lorren seasonings. You're going to have a hit. I promise you. Special shout outs to Mesha, Mesha's Corner. She's always been a supporter, and she loves the Keith Lorren Oxtail seasoning. Thank you. I love you all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Make sure to go to Stop and Shop grocery stores or KeithLorren.com to pick up your spices.